video, we worked out first 4 questions from exercise 6.3. Now, in today's video, we will discuss few more questions from the same exercise. So, let us go to question number 5. Read the question. For each of the following numbers, find the smallest whole number by which it should be multiplied so as to get a perfect square. Also, find the square root of the number so obtained. That means you have to find the prime factors of this number and then see whether it is a perfect square or not. If it is not a perfect square, you have to see by which number you need to multiply it to make it a perfect square. Then, after making the perfect square, you also have to find its square root. So, let us see how to do it. You see here, first we prime factorized it. The prime factors of 252 are 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 7. So, we have to write all the prime factors here. After writing the prime factors, we make pairs. Identical factors are made into pairs. So see here you got one pair of 2, here another pair of 3. But this 7 is single factor. So to make it a perfect square, this should be a pair. So to make it a pair, what we have to do? Multiply this number by 7. So to get a perfect square, we need to multiply 252 by which number? 7. We need to multiply 252 by 7. So when we multiply 252 by 7, we get 1764. And what will be the square root of that number? Go back here. See here we multiplied by 7, so this also will become a pair. So from that, when you take the factors, one factor from each pair, we get 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 7, which is equal to 42. Now, the second question in same type. Here it is, how to make 180 a perfect square by multiplying the smallest number. So again here we made 180 into its prime factors. So we get 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 5. Again you see here 2's are in pairs, 3's are in pairs. But 5 is single factor. So to make it a pair, what we have to do? Multiply by 5. So when we multiply this whole number, that is 180 by 5, we get 900, which will be a perfect square. Because see here, from here we take 1, 2, from here we take the 3, and see here when we multiply this by 5, it will become 5 into 5. So the number will be 2 into 3 into 5. That is, the square root of 900 will be 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 5, which is equal to 30. Let us do one more question from that exercise. That is question number 5. The number is 1458. So factorize it. We get the factors as 2 multiplied by 3 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 multiplied by 3. So 1458 is equal to 2 multiplied by 3 into 3 into 3 into 3 into 3 into 3. So what we did here? See, first we made pairs. One pair of 3, second pair of 3, third pair of 3. Which number is single here? Which factor is single? 2. So by which number we should multiply this number to make it a perfect square? We need to multiply 1458 by the single factor, that is 2. So if you multiply, what will you get? 2916. So this is a perfect square. By which number we multiply? By 2. When we multiply the given number, we get this, which is a perfect square. Now to find the square root of this perfect square, we take one factor from here and we take one factor from here. Okay, so we get 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3, which is equal to 54. So the square root of 2916 is 54. There are 6 questions in this. You need to do the remaining 3 yourself. Now let us see question number 6. For each of the following numbers, find the smallest number by which it should be divided so as to get a perfect square. Also find the square root of the number so obtained. There is a single difference or a very slight difference between question number 5 and question number 6. What is the difference? In question number 5, it was to find by which number we need to multiply. And here, it is to find by which number we need to divide. Procedure will be the same. Only in place of multiplication, here we have to do division. Okay. So, let us see the question. First number is 252. So, what is the first step? Reduce it to its prime factors. So, we get 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 7. So, we wrote 252 as its prime factors. You see here 2's are in pair, 3's are in pair. Which number is not in pair? 7. That means this is an extra number for us. If we have these factors, we can find its perfect square. Square root we can find it out easily. But this number is extra. So what we have to do? Divide 252 by 7. So when we divide, this factor will go away. So what will you get? 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 into 3. That means 36. 36 is a perfect square. And what is the square root of 36? We already know that 6 6 are 36. So what is the square root of 36? 6. Okay. Now one more question from the same type. You see here 2925. So the first step, reduce into its prime factors. The prime factors are 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 13. Now which numbers are in fact pairs? 3 into 3 is a pair here, 5 into 5 another pair. Which number is not in pair? 13. So this factor is an extra factor here. So we need to remove this. How will you remove? Divide by 13. So when you divide this number by 13, this factor will go away. So what will you get? These all factors. 3 3s are 9 into 25, which is equal to 225 is a perfect square. So find its square root. What is the square root of 225? 15 15s are 225. Okay, even in this question, you have 6 sub-questions. I have completed 2. The methods are the same. So please try yourself. Now, let us see question number 7. The students of class 8 of a school donated rupees 2401 in all for Prime Minister's National Relief Fund. Each student donated as many rupees as the number of students in the class. Find the number of students in the class. Okay, what is given in the question? In a class 8 of a school, maybe a Chambardale English medium school. Okay, our class, if we have 8 students or 10 students are there in the class, then each child donated 10 rupees. If there are 20 children, each child donated 20 rupees. Like that, we don't know how many students are there or how many rupees they donated. But we know one thing, overall, the whole class together, they collected 2401 rupees from the class. Okay, but one condition we know, how many students are there in the class, that many rupees is collected by each child. Okay, so let us see how to do it. Now, which part we don't know? We are asked to find the number of students in the class that we don't know. So, whatever we don't know, we will take it as a variable x, a, b, c, d, whatever you want. So, I have taken it as a. So, if there are a students in the class, each child has given a rupees. Okay. So, one child will give a rupees, second child also will give a rupees, like that. Every child will give a rupees. And how many students are there in the class? A students are there. So, total amount collected will be equal to the amount given by one child multiplied by the total number of students. So, what is A? Number of students. The second A is the amount given by one child. So, when we multiply both of them, we get 2401. Now, you see here, A multiplied by A is 2401. And what we have to find out? The number of students, which is A. Here, two identical factors of 2401 given. So, how will you find A? What it will be? It will be the square root of 2401. Now, you know how to find the square root. Find out the square root of 2401. When we factorize, we get 7 into 7 into 7 into 7. So, square root of 2401 is 49. So, the value of A, that is the value of the number of students in the class, is A, which is equal to 49. Okay. This was an example to show how the square roots are used in our day-to-day life. Okay. That's all for today. The remaining questions we will discuss in the next video. Thank you.